Welcome to Be Well. I'm Lisa Bergaw, pharmacist, yoga teacher, and health coach. Each week, we'll explore simple, science-informed ways for us to move better, feel more resilient, and feel more at home in our bodies. From breathwork and strength training to sleep, hormones, and healthy habits, we're here to help you age well and truly thrive, one small step at a time. This is Be Well. Hi, this is Lisa, and this is Be Well. We are here to help you to be well and feel good all the time is what our goal would be. But of course, that's not always easy because stress gets in our way, doesn't it? So our last episode was on stress resilience, and I went over a lot of the components of what healthy stress looks like, our healthy stress response, and what unhealthy stress could look like, and how that can be detrimental to our bodies and our minds, and just really take away from our joy. So today I thought we would do like a part 2 to that episode and put some of those practices into play. So I'm going to go through some daily routines that I practice and share them with you, and maybe you can incorporate some of them into your routine as well and find yourself with less stress or becoming more stress resilient so that you can still get things done even when things get a little chaotic or frustrating perhaps. So the first thing is just making the beginning and the ending of your day just sacred time for you. And that doesn't need to be a full hour. It could be 30 seconds, and that can really be life-changing. So first thing you do in the morning, think about that. When you first get up in the morning, what wakes you up? Is it your alarm clock blaring? Are you frantic jumping out of bed because it just startles you? So if you could have maybe just a really subtle, smooth, calming alarm, just change the alarm. And most phones, if you're using your phone as an alarm, can have a very soothing sound that you can put on. I actually don't even keep my phone in my bedroom at all. I have it charging in another room, and I turn my watch on sleep mode, and I let a little vibration wake me up, which has been really, really helpful for me. And so before I get out of bed, I don't have the phone in the room. I do not go reach for that phone yet. And so I just lie there in bed. I take a couple deep breaths. I let my hands rest over my heart, which stimulates your vagus nerve, and that can create a sense of peace and calm. Taking a slow belly breath, so you breathe down in through your nose into the lower parts of your belly. When you're lying down, that's easier to do because you don't have to hold yourself up. You don't have to engage your abdominal muscles to sit upright. So when you're lying down, maybe even place a hand on your heart and on your belly and feel the hand on your belly just rise and fall. Do that maybe 2 or 3 times. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of times. And then I often just, open my eyes and look around, and I just say thank you, just thank you. And if you believe in a higher being, you could say thank you to, the universe, to God, or whatever your beliefs are. But just saying thank you for a new day. Oftentimes we wake up first thing in the morning and many people do this, I know. Just think about oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I didn't get enough sleep. And we ruminate on all the things that didn't go well or that we think we messed up on instead of celebrating what is going well. So another thing that I do before I get out of bed, again, I just lie there, I take a couple breaths, I say thank you, and I think of something that I'm grateful for. I start to wiggle my fingers and my toes a little bit, move my wrists and ankles before I get out of bed and ask them to do anything. Our hands and feet are so intricate. You have 26 bones in each hand and 26 bones in each foot, 27 bones in each hand. They're so intricate and they do so much, and we often take them for granted. So before you get out of bed, before you put weight on your feet, just wiggle your toes, move your ankles around. They'll thank you even before you get out of bed. And then they'll work harder for you throughout the day. So that's 30 seconds now of my morning. And then when I get up, I do some gentle stretches. I like to reach up with one arm and down with the other, and I'll do the other side, and then I'll do a little forward fold and kind of just sway my body. And I make these little infinity signs in front of my body. And if you do infinity signs like this across your vision where you can see them, and I go overhead sometimes and I make a sweep over my body. Just that little gentle movement. When you're making those infinity signs, it's starting to rewire your brain. So the left and right sides of your brain can start to communicate, because sometimes they're a little bit off. Or it could be a little more logical and less creative. We could be a little more creative, less logical. And it would be nice if those two sides of our brain could be in a little better harmony. So just that little gentle movement. My body feels good. My brain starts to wake up. I do a little tapping underneath my eyes, and that just brings a little brightness into my eyes, gets a little blood pumping through my eyes, and it feels just kind of refreshing and enlivening. It wakes me up. And then I think about like how I want to feel that day. Like, what do I want to feel like? And if you like to journal, you might pull out your journal first thing in the morning. I've given a couple journal prompts. First thing you could ask yourself is, how do I want to feel today? And then once you feel like, I want to feel joyful, I want to feel playful, and then add some I am statements instead of wishing for it in the future, like I want this. Say something like, I am joyful, I am playful, or I embody, or I welcome, some sort of a positive present tense statement. And then today, I am grateful for. I am grateful for, it could be as simple as, I am just grateful that I woke up. I am grateful that I get to go see so-and-so today. I am grateful that I got a good night's sleep. And just start to flip it around instead of thinking of all the things that the drudgery that has to be done. Being grateful for the things that we are doing, that we do enjoy, and putting a little positive spin on your morning. And then meditation can be really nice first thing in the morning. It doesn't have to be like a full hour sit. It doesn't even have to be a seated meditation. You might walk. So if you wanted to meditate, a walking meditation could be as simple as just getting outside. Natural sunlight first thing in the morning can actually reset your circadian rhythm. Looking out a window is good, but being out in actual daylight is even better. When that natural sunlight hits your eyes, it sends signals to the brain. It tells the sleep hormone melatonin to shut down, and it tells the serotonin hormone time to wake up, and it can actually reset your circadian rhythm so that you'll sleep better that night. And the more you keep that regular schedule, the better that rhythm's gonna get. And the more your sleep patterns improve, the better your daytime activities will feel as well. So getting out in daylight and doing a walking meditation, it could just be as simple as just feeling your feet on the ground. It could be lift, shift, step as you walk. It could be that you're looking around and you're listening to the birds, or you're, smelling. We live by the shore here. Maybe you're down by the beach and you're smelling the salt air. Maybe you're smelling pine trees or flowers in bloom here in the springtime. So starting to tap into your senses is really wonderful too. Maybe it's your first cup of coffee, right? So it could be that you're just enjoying the warmth of the mug in your hand, or your tea, you're smelling it, and making that part of a morning ritual. And yes, that coffee or tea might wake you up as well. And it can become a ritual that your body starts to know, this is part of my morning routine. We're starting to wake up. We're going to start to move and do some things. It does not have to be a seated meditation shown here in this photo, but it could be. And it can be really nice to just sit for a few moments before rushing into your day and just let yourself wake up. I've heard it said it's like taking a shower, right? So we take a shower in the morning to wake ourselves up, to clear off the dirt from yesterday. Meditation is a way of like taking a bath for your mind, and it'll clear your thoughts from all the old stuff, the limiting beliefs, the things that happened yesterday or years ago, whatever. And it's like just taking a shower for your brain and clearing the thoughts. And it may not make everything super easy for the rest of the day, but it will make some things a little bit easier. So you may not hit that send button on that angry text or email. You might pause instead, or you might think it through. Or maybe those things that irritated you don't irritate you anymore because you've given yourself a moment to just take a pause first thing in the morning. So morning routines can be really, really helpful. You're setting the tone. Now, I don't know if you've heard this, but I haven't picked my phone up yet. You are very welcome to pick up your phone. However, if you pick up your phone, I'm going to encourage you not to get right onto the news or to social media first thing in the morning. Imagine everything that you're interacting with being invited into your space. So whether that's still in your bedroom, that's in your kitchen, that's in your home, all the people that you're looking at on the news, all the people that you're looking at on your texts, all the people that you're looking at on social media. Imagine them all coming in and just taking over your space first thing in the morning. I don't want that. I'm sure you don't either. So I don't get on social media first thing in the morning. So after I've done my daily routine, the kind of morning setup, I do like to play my Wordle. So I do my Wordle, and I open Facebook and I hit that little search button for birthdays, and I wish people happy birthday because that makes me feel good. And then I close down the app, and then I put my phone back away, and then I go take my shower and get ready. Movement is really important. I mentioned I do a little stretching first thing in the morning. I like to do my movement practices early, so whether it's going for a walk, or it's doing my yoga practice, or it's doing spinning, cycling, or strength training, and all of those are important, and we can talk about that on a different episode because that's a whole episode on its own. But movement is really, really important. I personally prefer to work out early in the morning because it gives me energy. If I'm going to do movement later in the day, I really like to do something more gentle, like a slower stretchy type of yoga or a guided meditation. But that's really personal preference. If you like to do something a little slower paced first thing in the morning and really unwind, then do that. Just try to move your body just a little bit. It's really interesting because there's some new research being done on fitness and the connective tissues, our fascia. And so we have these tissues in our low back called the thoracolumbar fascia. It's like that diamond shape of sticky stuff in our low back, and it's very much associated with low back pain. Mood is also associated with these tissues. So the people who either get those tissues massaged, or they do gentle movements, twists, stretches, and they strengthen those tissues and they soften those tissues, they keep those tissues hydrated, have less back pain, and also elevated mood. And it's even being tracked in changes in neurotransmitters, so more dopamine, less cortisol. And so it's really fascinating. This is all real new research. So I think that's just fabulous. Just a little bit of movement. It could be that just you do a couple like back arches, a little spinal extension, a little spinal flexion, like cats and cows, standing up. You could do that seated, standing, or lying down. And that can really improve your mood. It will also make you feel a little more limber. And if you do have low back pain, it can be really helpful for that. And of course, if you have acute injuries, please talk to your doctor before adding any movement modalities. But movement is medicine, and I really feel like it's changed my life, and it makes me feel better, and I move more freely, and I'm just lighter in my head, in my body, in my radiance, right? So that's my typical morning routine, and of course you can incorporate anything else that works for you. And then all throughout the day, so a midday reset. Sometimes just transitioning from leaving your house to getting in the car to going to work or to going to wherever you're going. Each one of those is a new transition, and I encourage you to kind of use each one as an opportunity to take a pause, to take a breath, and let that be a new experience. So as you're leaving your house, take a breath in, take a breath out, get in your car, that's a new transition. And then you're present while you're in the car, while you're driving, listening to maybe, some good content, a good podcast, or an audiobook, or music that really lights you up. And then when you get to, or go for a silent drive and look at your surroundings and actually see things. Have you ever done that? You drive home and you go, I don't even remember getting here. Or you do pay attention and you notice that someone's painted their door bright red and you never noticed that. And then you say something and someone's like, it's been red for 20 years, but you never noticed it. So it allows us to just be more present. When we're more present, we're more grounded, our nervous system has a better chance of becoming more resilient. So when things are off, we can rebound from that without really getting knocked over. So some things you can do for your midday resets or any time of day resets is just taking those different opportunities throughout your day as a transition. I love this story. There was a man who was giving a talk he was like a motivational speaker, and he was talking about his little son. I think his son was like 3 or 4 years old. And he himself says, when I walk through a door, I'm like, here I am, and claims the space, and like, I'm entering a new opportunity. It's a new experience, and I'm showing up. And he was talking about that so much in front of his little son, just kind of living it and demonstrating that his son walked into a grocery store and the electric door is just open and this kid just comes in and just puts his arms and says, "Here I am," and the whole grocery store just started cracking up. And it would be so amazing if we could all live like that. So whether you literally put your arms up as you walk through a doorway and say, "Here I am," or you just say it to yourself in your head, it will make you feel a little bit better. And even just showing you that, I've talked about this in previous episodes, but I call it slumpasana, right? So if you kind of slump in your chair and you're looking down, your whole energy just collapses. And if you just sit up just a little taller, roll your shoulders back just a little bit, lift your chest just a little bit, your whole energy level completely rises. And it's just a shift. It's a 2 millimeter shift in your sternum, and it can be a huge shift in your energy. So if you find yourself starting to find that slump, especially after lunch, right? After lunch, we get that afternoon slump and we want to go get another cup of coffee. Maybe instead of getting that other cup of coffee yet, you roll your shoulders back, you take a sip of water. Hydration is so important. If you feel like you're kind of sluggish, first drink water. If you want to go have another cup of coffee, that's totally up to you. You are absolutely welcome to do that. But a couple of little things, if coffee's bothering you and affecting your sleep or giving you stomach upset or reflux, like that's why I don't drink coffee, because my body doesn't like it. Instead of going for that cup of coffee first, do a little bit of movement. Maybe you jump a little bit. Jumping jacks are my favorite things to do. And it doesn't have to be that you literally jump off the ground. Bouncing is really good for us, but just that little extra bounce. You could skip, you could hop, you could do some jumping jacks, you could just shake your body out. Just get your blood pumping. You don't even have to do it for more than 10 seconds. You'll get benefits from it. It's really fun. And then a glass of water. So if you have some water, if you're feeling a little sluggish, first drink some water. Maybe you're dehydrated. I always think about, there's a peace plant. It's like a big green leafy plant, and it's got these white plumes that come out of it. And it's so forgiving. You can not water it for a month and it's just kind of droopy. And you water it, and within just a couple hours, it's like back. It's like, here I am, I'm back. So I could see what the water does to that peace plant, and I had to remind myself, oh yeah, I would feel so much better if I just have more water. So if you're feeling sluggish, move your body a little bit, have some water, get up, walk around, and just move your body. Again, it doesn't have to be very long. It could just be a 10-second walk. It could be a 5 or 10 minute walk after lunch. If you walk around after lunch, it also helps your digestion. Moving your body will help your energy level. So instead of getting that slump after lunch, that could be a nice midday reset. And then if you are taking that midday walk, or if you're walking in the morning, I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to give you a little homework assignment if you want to take it on, is to look for hearts in nature. And it doesn't have to be a heart necessarily. I personally like to look for hearts because you find them everywhere and it lights you up. There's a system in our brain, around our brain, like a hairnet, that's called the reticular activating system. And it kind of filters, it's like the bouncer at a club, that it filters what you let into your brain. So if you start looking for things that light you up, it could be a heart, it could be a feather, it could be any kind of symbol, maybe it's a bird or whatever, a rainbow. When you start looking for things like that, you'll start to see more and more of them. Like if you've ever, gone shopping for a new car and you pick a specific model, all of a sudden you see it everywhere, right? And the same thing happens when you look for a symbol like this. So every time I see a heart in nature, it just makes me smile. It doesn't have to be in nature either. It could be, I don't know, like when I get a heart in a cappuccino, for example. I do get a cappuccino sometimes when I'm on vacation. It really lights me up. And the person who made it doesn't know that. The barista doesn't know that. But I look for hearts, heart-shaped rocks or hearts in the clouds. And every time I see one, it just makes me smile. And I start looking for, I'm not even looking for them anymore. I just see them all the time. So those little synchronicities and those little, I call them God winks, those little things that just kind of light you up and remind you there is good in the world and things are going to be okay and things will get better for feeling really stressed. And then moving from the midday into the evening routine, if you are able to leave work at work, and when you come home, do that. If you do work from home, trying to create space within your home that is dedicated just for work, and then create a time where you can shut down and that's the end of your work day. That can be really hard to do, especially if your people that you work with are used to having you available to them all the time. You might have to start to set some healthy boundaries for yourself, that I'm going to stop answering emails or phone calls after this time, and let people know that. You can put an out of office thing on your email response and say, I will answer your email tomorrow after 10 a.m. or whatever your time is that you have made for yourself first, that you are productive and able to dedicate to that work. So that can be very, very helpful, creating that downtime and that unwind as we go into the evening and work our way into a nice, calm evening, setting up for a fabulous night's sleep. So when you're small, or if you have children, you might have had a really nice nighttime routine for them. You had dinner, and then they took a bath, and then you read a story, and there was a lot of preparation to get into bed. And the body and the brain start to correlate those habits with, okay, this is time for us to quiet down. This is time for us to shut down. Trying to stay off technology 2 hours before bedtime. Some studies say 3, some studies say 1. Ideally, if you could stay off your technology, the blue light at night can be very disturbing to your sleep patterns. You might wear blue light glasses if you have to be on your screen. If you're able to unplug and put that device away, I encourage you to do that. It will definitely help your sleep. The last thing you do before you go to bed is really, really precious too, because that's going to set the tone for the rest of your evening. And then also some things that you can do any time of day are practicing joy. So I have a little grid here that I'm going to share with you. And if you're listening to this on an audio version of this program, there is a little grid that has things that cost money that bring you joy on one side, and things that are free that bring you joy on the other side. So, and I encourage you to sit down and think about this. What do you like to do? What brings you joy? And it could be things that cost you money, like maybe it's getting a massage, going out to dinner, going on vacation, buying a new outfit, whatever. And then things that you can do for free, going for a walk, looking at the sunrise, moving my body, drinking a glass of water. Things that bring you joy, that cost money and that are free or don't cost money. And take time to write down, a few things on each side of that list. What I have found when I've done this in workshops at the studio is there's a lot more on the free side than on the cost money side for most people. And that's usually pretty eye-opening for people. They're like, I didn't even think about that. And when you're feeling a little stressed out, when you're feeling a little overwhelmed, when you're feeling a little down, go to your joy list. And I encourage you to do something off your joy list. The smaller things, do them every day. And the bigger things, maybe you start saving for them. Every time you turn off your phone an hour before bed, you give yourself $1 or $10 and you put it in your cost money side list if you want to do something big, and start putting money aside for that. Make it a game and have fun with it. And I think the more we make things enjoyable, the more likely we will keep doing them. If it feels good and we're seeing the benefits, we're going to keep doing that. And also remember that healthy habits, or any habits, take some time to build. So just starting really small, stacking little habits on top of things you're already doing, make it accessible, make it simple, make it easy. Consistency is key. It's easy, it's better really to meditate for 30 seconds 3 times a week than to meditate for 3 hours once a year, right? It's that consistency. So a little bit every day, or a little bit several times a day, or several times a week. It's just going to start to rewire your brain and rewire your nervous system. And it's going to be easier and easier. And you're going to feel better. And you're going to look forward to doing those things. They won't be drudgery. The benefits will really start to shine and to show up. And hopefully you'll feel just more calm in your body, more calm in your workspace, even when things are chaotic around you. So sometimes we have chaos around us. We cannot control what other people do. We cannot control other situations, but we can control how we show up, and we can control how we respond, especially with practice. It's not easy. It is simple. So that's the trick, right? It is simple. It's not easy. And it's that consistency. So choose consistency over convenience. Choose commitment over convenience. Commit to yourself and show up for yourself, because you're wonderful and you're worth it. And then I'd like to just end with 2 more things. First, practice the pause. You can do this any time of the day. I love to use the term practice the pause. Practice the pause, like I mentioned before you walk into a new room. Practice the pause before you send an email. Practice the pause before somebody says something that's like offensive to you, before you respond, before you react. Give yourself a moment to pause, to breathe, and then maybe choose to walk away, to respond, or to not respond. But that pause is really, really, really helpful. And it doesn't have to be more than a second, to be honest with you. It can be a really short pause, but I really encourage you to start practicing the pause all throughout your day. And then one last thing I'd like to end with is a breath practice, and it's called the square breath. And there's a graphic on the screen that shows you what we're going to do. I'll walk you through it. I'll count for the first round, but I really encourage you to just really use your own inner feeling of how long this takes. I like to use my heartbeat. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 4. And then exhale for 4 counts and hold again for 4 counts. And if that hold is too long, just hold for shorter. Placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or both hands over your heart space, if that's comfortable for you. Let's take a breath in together and then let it out. And on your next inhale, start to count 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhaling again, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Now do that at your own pace. Inhale for your 4 count. You can just count in your head, or you can count your heartbeats. And then hold for your 4 count. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. And let's just do one more round together. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding, and then return to your natural breathing. Let your breath just come and go all on its own. So that was just about a minute, 1 minute of meditative breathing. And just check in. How did that make you feel? Hopefully that left you feeling a sense of calm and peace. You can do that any time of day. And you don't have to place your hands on your heart. You can do it in public. You can do it when you're waiting in line at the grocery store. You can do it when you're waiting at a stop sign. It can really bring a sense of peace. Anytime you exhale longer than your inhale, it can be a relaxation breath. So if you inhale for 4 and exhale for 8, if you're feeling really stressed out, that can be really nice. If you're feeling really overcharged, move your body, shake that charge off. Again, I love to do jumping jacks or skipping, but it could just be literally shaking it off like an animal does when they get frazzled or frightened, right? Just literally shake it off and then move on. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this helped you, and I hope you have a sense of peace. And I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Be Well. Have a wonderful week. Be well. Thank you for joining me on Be Well. I hope today's conversation inspires at least one simple way for you to support yourself. Before you step back into your day, pause and choose one uplifting action you can gift yourself. What's your one thing going to be? Remember, small, consistent steps create meaningful change. Until next time, take a breath, take care, and be well.